Geez, Jim, nice picture, a little dated. This has got to go.
I eat my Wheaties in the morning.
Well, now that you're retiring, you might want to think about cleaning your desk someday.
Thanks a lot. But I don't know about this, Charlie. I've seen you on TV. You look like you're having much more fun now than when you were here in Congress.
Yeah, hey, there's a life after Congress, Jim. It's a hell of a lot of fun, and that's the nice thing about the Former Members Association. As a former member, it's a good life, and I'm now with FMC, and I'm here to help you clean up this mess.
Charlie, sounds interesting. Please tell me more.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you...
Our work here did not end when we left Capitol Hill.
That you will support and defend the Constitution of the...
Former members of Congress,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
Republicans and Democrats,
That you take this obligation freely
continuing
without
public
interest.
service and furthering representative democracy, all through FMC, the bipartisan Former Members of Congress Association.
so help you God. Congratulations, you're now members.
FMC formed a half-century ago to engage House and Senate members in continuing public service, supporting Congress, and empowering democracy at home and abroad as bipartisan partners.
I find the Association of Former Members of Congress to be the perfect transition from Congress back into civil society and civic society. We need more civility, that's for sure.
I think they're surprised that Republicans and Democrats can actually have a civil debate or discussion when we actually go to campuses and talk about issues that are fairly contentious.
FMC, one of only a handful of NGOs chartered by Congress, organizes forums here and abroad, on campus, engaging members and staff on Capitol Hill, and reconnecting communities with their representative democracy, all on a bipartisan basis. Without spending a single taxpayer dollar, our former members donate their time and expertise.
You know, I love that with the association, we travel around to all of these different schools. We do Congress on your campus and meeting with students and talking with them about the value of public service.
Our most important and oldest domestic project, the Congress to Campus program, connects bipartisan teams of former members of Congress with the next generation of American leaders. We discuss politics, service, and the importance of working together. Our former member teams showcase the value of respectful and productive debate on the day's issues.
I think it's pretty great to find people who were there and have seen it, to come together and kind of say, okay, we've seen it, we want to get together and change Congress for the better.
And on behalf of the Former Members of Congress Association.
And former members serve current members of Congress through our congressional study groups. For more than 30 years, creating conversations between those members and their colleagues across the globe, including Germany, Japan, and Korea, to name a few, we have expanded that work to include senior congressional staff and district directors, always working across the aisle at no cost to taxpayers.
It's always been a privilege to work with former members of Congress. You worked with these people in a different way, but now you're working with them in a bipartisan way to sustain democracy and help improve our country.
Former members of Congress making a difference for 50 years. What started as a small alumni group now involves hundreds of former and current members, reaching students, parliamentarians, ambassadors, and heads of state.
It's always been a good organization, but it's accelerated, I believe, during the last 2 years, again, building on the work of previous presidents and the work that Pete had done over the years.
Former members at the beginning was somewhat of a social club. It certainly is not that any longer. It's got much involved in programs. It's almost like a well-run business organization of former members of Congress.
If you can't go to Congress and make a tough vote and prepared to lose your seat over making a tough vote, why are you there? You should be proud of the fact you stood up and you stood for something.
Yeah.
I am tired of these guys who are just safe. They don't want to take a tough vote on anything, and so nothing gets done. Why are you there?
50 years of FMC, 50 years of re-engaging the public with their lawmakers, 50 years supporting current members of Congress in their important and difficult public service. 50 years made possible by Republicans and Democrats working together after leaving office. Thank you to our supporters for making this milestone possible and continuing the mission that brought our members to Washington.
Okay, Jim, what do you think? We're ready to go.
I've seen it all, and I am. Let's go.